Hey guys, welcome back. This is take 10 of my video. We're looking a little snatched from this angle, so I'm happy I took a take 10. So I'm just gonna go right into the video so it isn't as long as the other ones. So for my topic, I'm going to do LGBT experiences following the Pulse nightclub shooting, and more specifically, I'm going to look at people of color, older generations within the LGBT community, and socially conservative areas, and see how they were impacted and how they kind of dealt with the post nightclub shooting and everything following that. Also, I forgot to add, I'm going to be looking at a kind of a worldwide lens too, and seeing how people in Uganda actually dealt with it. So, just a little background: the post nightclub shooting occurred on June 12th, 2016, in Orlando, Florida, at a gay nightclub during a Latin Pride Month. Sorry for that. Sorry for this lighting. Oh, what's happening? Um, it's when a gunman came and shot and killed 49 people and injured 53 people. And it was the worst mass shooting before the Las Vegas shooting and the second deadliest terrorist attack to happen on US soil since 9/11, and the deadliest attack against the LGBT community. Basically, for what I did to search for this topic, I just put in Pulse nightclub shooting and it gave me 23 options. And then I deduced it further for scholarly articles and it gave me 19. So I kind of wanted more, but I got what I got. So what I would do to, oh my God, I'm so sorry, guys. So what I would do to kind of give advice to people looking for articles, definitely go on EBSCO. She's a good search engine. I would kind of limit the date, make sure it's in 10-year range, limit the subject, and limit the type, so make it scholarly. Then for my articles, I did in remembrance of Orlando nightclub victims, and this was for a background for the disaster. It was really good at explaining what occurred during that whole night, just to reassure the points that I knew and to maybe learn some things that I didn't know. The next two, Invisible During My Own Crisis and Orlando Observances, those were about more about people of color and how they and intersectionality and racism, homophobia, and perceived violence within the community. The next one, called Hidden Rainbows, was like about nightclub attendances after the post nightclub shooting, specifically in socially conservative areas like Tulsa, Oklahoma. That's where they kind of focused the study. And it was really interesting because they looked at how people in metropolitan liberal areas didn't really go out to gay nightclubs after the event. So it's really interesting to kind of look at that. While in socially conservative areas, you really didn't see such a significance. The next one was called On My Own Terms, and this was about an older LGBT person coming forward and talking about how, while people think that the Pulse nightclub shooting was a really shocking event, and it obviously was because it was a huge terrorist attack, but um, there is still so much change that needs to be happening for the LGBT community, and um, just like I said, how people think it may be shocking, but in all reality, there has been a lot of stuff that has happened to the LGBT community, and all the things that have happened in the past aren't that far from today's date, if that makes sense. So in the 90s, there was a lot of hate crimes, specifically Matthew Shepard, and a lot of I remember watching a documentary, and there was a lot of hate crimes going on in Texas specifically. I learned about, and how police really didn't care and really didn't want to do anything about it because they were a risky group and they kind of signed up for it with living that lifestyle, which was really interesting. I really recommend people to watch that. If I remember the name, I'll definitely show you it. It's on demand for free, so I'll definitely let you watch that. It's super interesting to see how the police and how the environment really kind of let all that happen. And also, Don't Ask, Don't Tell was only in the 80s, so it was really interesting to learn about how the older generation is kind of taking this event as an initiative for change and kind of wanting people to realize, yes, this is happening, but it shouldn't be shocking for you because homophobia is still kind of in our culture and in society. So people need to realize that like you need to go out and make a change, and if you don't want this to happen again, then go out and make a change in the political, in the social world. And the last one was called No One Shakes Me, and this was about Uganda and how people that were gay kind of made a refuge site for the LGBT community, to mourn for their lost brothers and sisters, um, at the Pulse nightclub shooting. So it was really interesting to see how, although they could see like serious persecution for just being gay, they all came together to kind of mourn the loss of life. And for my last question, what would I ask a librarian? I would ask, how can I get more sources? Is there another search engine I can use? Because although I did get a very limited amount, I think there is more that I could use to kind of bolster those points, or maybe get another point in there to kind of see how different groups kind of took in that disaster and kind of got affected by it. So I think that would be my main question. I definitely will be emailing the librarian to get some final assurance about that. And yeah, so that's the end of my video. It's still as long as the other ones, but I feel really confident about this one. So guys, I hope you guys have a really great week. I wish you the best of luck on your papers, and have a great weekend. See you guys.